Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio. Thank God it's Friday. So I think, or at least I got the full schedule probably by noon yesterday. I mean, it just started getting passed around. So even though the NFL tried to make an event out of it yesterday night, I didn't really pay attention to that because I knew exactly where the Chiefs were going to go before lunchtime.
Well, I want you to think about this. Just eliminate all of your allegiances and all that sort of thing.
Can't do that, but I'll try.
No, it's nothing. It's not a criticism of the Chiefs or anybody else. But think about, and I must admit, I don't know what the pay scale is in the National Football League, but their marketing department is underpaid. They've got to be. These people are geniuses for what they do. Well, maybe they're not underpaid. Maybe
I'm sure they're doing just fine.
Look at this. My goodness sake. Now, keep in mind, teams already know who you're going to play.
Yeah.
You know where they're going to play. It's home and home, and you know all that, home and away. You know where those games are going to be. This is the times and the dates. And you make a national television show out of this? That is nonsense. But here we are talking about it, and here it's on, and
well,
we're watching it. But the fact of the matter is this. It is a brilliant marketing ploy on the part of the NFL that goes to great extremes to have something in front of the media every week.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
And they do, and I love it because it's my favorite sport and my favorite team. All right, speaking of my favorite team, they will kick off the season on Thursday Night Football, Week 1 at home against the Detroit Lions. It's been, 20, 30 years since that's happened? It's been a long time.
Since Chiefs played the Lions?
Since the Lions have been in Kansas City. The
Chiefs played them in Detroit a couple of years ago. I do remember that. I don't remember the Lions being in Kansas City in quite a while. But it's interesting because the NFL came out yesterday and said, this was a heck of a debate coming up with this opening game. Now, keep in mind, it is not a rule. There's no rule that says that the Super Bowl champs have to play on Thursday night. It's not a rule. It is a date. It's on NBC's calendar. You've got to have a game there. But it's just courtesy to the Super Bowl champs. Okay, the Chiefs are getting the game. Why the Detroit Lions? It could have been the Philadelphia Eagles, could have been the Cincinnati Bengals, could have been the Buffalo Bills, could have been anybody. And the NFL said, you know what? Those games are really greatly marketable later on in the year. Now, who the Chiefs play doesn't make a difference because people are going to watch regardless. They watch the Chiefs. They watch Patrick Mahomes. It's probably the most viewed team in the country. Here you have the Detroit Lions, who won 8 of their last 10 games last year and are a young and exciting team. Hey, let's bring them in here. Let's showcase them in the opening game. They may get beat, but so what? That's the name of the game. Indeed, I think it's a pretty doggone good choice, and yes, the crowd will be there, and yes, I think the Lions probably get punished pretty quickly for coming in there. They're a young team, but hey, into Kansas City on opening night against the champs, It'll be a spectacle, to say the least.
And the Chiefs got the max primetime games. You can pretty much give a team opening on a Thursday. We've got another Thursday night football game later on in the season, so that's 2.
A max of 6.
Yeah.
They're allowed to have 6
and that's exactly
games.
Where we're at, sir.
They are one of 4 teams that have 6 games in primetime. The others are the Los Angeles Chargers, Buffalo Bills, and, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, you wonder why, because the Cowboys aren't in any great shakes. Yes, they are, too, because they're a viewed football team just like the Kansas City Chiefs are, and they have a great allegiance. So all those teams, those 4 teams, have the maximum of 6 primetime games. That includes a Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night, and then later on in the season, who knows, there could be a flex involved.
I do like the season open for us, but man, the last few weeks of the season, Buffalo, followed by New England, followed by Vegas, followed by Cincinnati, followed by LA. That is going to be a hell. And then that literally is the start of your climb to the playoffs. So if everything goes according to plan and the Chiefs start rolling and we've got the health and everything like last year, it just starts rolling, that's going to be a hell of a march starting in week 13. You could say the Packers game, the jury's still out about how Love's going to turn that team around or not, but again, definitely week 14 and on, it's going to be a tough hombre. And then, 3 weeks before that, we've got your green and white coming in. So, I'm already nervous, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad it's out now so I can start making travel arrangements and finding babysitters. All right, Who won in hockey last night?
The Carolina Hurricanes absolutely wiped out the Jersey Devils, so Carolina wins that series 4-1. They move on, and the Dallas Stars now have a 3-2 lead over the Seattle Kraken. Dallas the winner last night. And later on, we'll talk a little bit about the baseball and the NBA.
Pretty nice opening game for Drury yesterday, wouldn't you think?
Well, when they consider that they were playing their opening round opponent, beat them in 4 straight earlier this year, and then the Panthers come back and win, yes, that's a very nice win for the Drury Panthers. 11 innings it took them, but Drury 6, Maryville 3. This is Maryville University in St. Louis. And earlier, they had swept a 4-game series from Drury up in St. Louis. Well, these games now are in Marion, Illinois. That's where the Great Lakes Valley Conference postseason tournament is being held. And it was a home run by Luke Burke, who collected 3 RBIs that really made this a big deal for Drury. They play again. Now, this is double elimination, but Drury is now in the winner's bracket, knocking off Maryville, and play again later this afternoon, weather permitting.
Yeah, it's going to be on and off all weekend long, it seems like. We'll see what happens, but that's a great win for the Panthers. All right, so Royals, how'd they do yesterday?
The Royals win, and they win it with a run in the last of the 9th inning, and this old man loves the way they won it. On a little small ball, a squeeze bunt, and it brought home the winner from third base, and a 4-3 win for the Royals, who had given up a 3-0 lead and had the White Sox come back and tie them. But the White Sox aren't playing very well, and they're star-crossed this year with a lot of injuries, and the Royals added to that misery with a 4-3 win. Squeeze bunt. You don't see it very often in baseball anymore, but that is a big deal, and more power to them. Love it. Now, the Springfield Cardinals also played last night, and they didn't fare very well. The Cardinals beaten by the Tulsa Drillers 5-3. The Springbirds' record is now 13-17 on the year.
Last but not least, the NBA playoffs. How are your 76ers doing?
They got beat. They got beat at home. Boston Celtics beat them 95-86. The series is tied at 3 games apiece. Now, Boston has home court advantage. Philadelphia won in Boston, and in fact, they have won twice in Boston in this series. I'm predicting they ain't going to win a third time. Winning a championship game in Boston, this will be the playoff championship game for that particular division. They're just too good. They're a very good basketball team. So if Boston is tied 3-3, the Denver Nuggets-Phoenix Suns series is over. Denver won it last night, 125-100, and they win that series 4-2. So the Denver Nuggets go on now to play the winner of Golden State and the Lakers.
Exciting stuff. I don't know what's going to happen with that Celtics 76ers. I know you got a little bit of skin, but I've also got a really good friend that's a huge Celtics fan. So I kind of feel like I'm getting torn between the both of you. All right. I'll just keep my mouth shut. Ned, you have a great weekend. And happy Mother's Day.